What is China's role in the Russia and Ukraine crisis? What is China's plan to end the war? The Ukraine crisis is one of the most serious conflicts in Europe since the end of the Cold War. It began in 2014 when Russia annexed Crimea, a peninsula that belonged to Ukraine, and supported separatist rebels in eastern Ukraine. The conflict escalated in February 2022 when Russia launched a full-scale invasion of Ukraine, claiming to protect Russian-speaking minorities from Ukrainian aggression. The war has killed tens of thousands of people, displaced millions more, and triggered a humanitarian crisis. It has also sparked a geopolitical confrontation between Russia and the West, which have imposed sanctions on each other and increased their military presence and support for Ukraine. The war has also threatened global security and stability, as it involves nuclear-armed powers and risks spreading to other regions. China, as a major power and a permanent member of the United Nations Security Council, has been closely watching and involved in the Ukraine crisis. China has maintained a complex and delicate position on the issue, balancing its interests with different parties while trying to present itself as a responsible peacemaker. On one hand, China has a close strategic partnership with Russia, which is its biggest neighbor and ally against what they perceive as U.S. hegemony and interference. China has supported Russia's stance on many international issues, such as Syria, Iran, North Korea, and Venezuela. China has also benefited from Russia's energy supplies, military cooperation and diplomatic coordination in various fields. On the other hand, China has its own interests and concerns that may not align with Russia's or that may be affected by its actions. For instance, China values its sovereignty and territorial integrity, and does not recognize Russia's annexation of Crimea or its invasion of eastern Ukraine. China also has economic ties and cooperation projects with Ukraine, as well as other European countries that are involved or affected by the crisis. China also worries about the impact of the war on regional stability, nuclear security, energy security, food security, and global governance. Therefore, China has tried to balance its relations with both sides, while avoiding taking sides or getting directly involved in a conflict. China has called for dialogue and negotiation among all parties, and respect for international law and norms. China has also put forward its own peace proposal for Ukraine, which consists of 12 points that cover various aspects of the crisis. According to China's proposal, the sovereignty of all countries should be respected. The Cold War mentality should be abandoned. Hostilities should cease. Peace talks should resume. Sanctions against Russia should end. Humanitarian aid should be provided. Prisoners of war should be protected. Attacks on civilians should stop. Nuclear power plants should be kept safe. Grain exports should be facilitated. Regional cooperation should be enhanced. And multilateralism should be upheld. China claims that its proposal is based on its objective observation of the situation and its constructive role in promoting peace talks. It says that its proposal addresses the legitimate concerns of all parties and reflects the common interests of the international community. However, China's proposal has been met with skepticism and criticism by some parties, especially by the West. They accuse China of being biased towards Russia and possibly providing lethal aid to Moscow. They also question China's neutrality and credibility as a mediator. They say that China's proposal ignores the root causes of the conflict, such as Russia's aggression and violation of international law. They also say that China's proposal lacks concrete measures or mechanisms to implement it. They argue that China's proposal is more aimed at protecting its own interests than resolving the crisis. In conclusion, China's role in the Ukraine crisis is complex and delicate. It tries to balance its relations with different parties while presenting itself as a peacemaker. It offers its own peace proposal for Ukraine that covers various aspects of the crisis. But it faces skepticism and criticism from some parties who doubt its motives and effectiveness. Here is a poem on China's role in the Russia and Ukraine crisis and China's plan to end the war. A war rages in Europe's heart, between two neighbors torn apart by history, identity and power. A war that threatens to devour the peace and stability of the world, and unleash a nuclear sword. A war that has no easy solution, but only pain and confusion. In this crisis, China plays a role, a complex and delicate one to hold. It tries to balance its interests and ties with both sides of the divide. It has a friendship with Russia strong, a partnership that spans long. It shares with Moscow a common vision of challenging the West's domination. But it also has its own concerns and stakes that may not match with Russia's aims or ways. It values its sovereignty and integrity, and does not endorse Russia's annexation or invasion policy. It also has economic links and projects with Ukraine and other European states. It worries about the impact of the war on many fronts, such as security, energy, food and governance. Therefore, China tries to be a peacemaker and offers its own proposal for Ukraine. A 12-point plan that covers various factors that China thinks are key to end the conflict. China claims that its plan is fair and constructive, that it respects all parties' concerns and interests, that it reflects the common will of the international community, and that it promotes dialogue and negotiation peacefully. But China's plan is met with doubt and criticism by some parties who question its intention and wisdom. They accuse China of being biased towards Russia and possibly providing lethal aid to Moscow. They also say that China's plan ignores the root causes of the war, such as Russia's aggression and violation of international law. They also say that China's plan lacks concrete steps or mechanisms to implement it, and that it is more aimed at protecting China's own interests than resolving the crisis. In conclusion, China's role in the Ukraine crisis is complex and delicate. It tries to balance its relations with different parties while presenting itself as a peacemaker. It offers its own peace proposal for Ukraine that covers various aspects of the crisis. But it faces skepticism and criticism from some parties who doubt its motives and effectiveness. Start planning your next global adventure with ease and convenience with our Booking.com referral link. https://www.booking.com/index.html?aid equals 7989335 as a great choice to plan your next trip. You can find and book flights, hotels, cars, and local attractions all in one place, and their price match guarantee ensures you're getting the best deal. Thank you for kind support our AnHub Metaverse channel, and please watch more interesting videos here.